That's standing dick's press. It might seem a little hairy, but you gotta stay rigid. Ready at 4 to 6 there, and he got the 6, and I think a great start to this workout. Next, we're gonna reduce the weight. He's gonna hit 10 to 15. Final set, we'll reduce it a little bit more, and he's gonna hit 25 to 30. We're starting off here, 4 exercises of breakdowns. Okay, bodybuilding circles usually encompass 2 kinds of individuals. The kind that say go heavy or go home, or the ones that just wanna worship the almighty pump. You gotta have both. To fully maximize your physique, you're gonna have to take a holistic and approach. Things rarely in life are black and white, and bodybuilding training is one of those things. This is not dating. You do not have to be exclusive to either one of these methods. So this means high reps, low reps, fast tempo, slow tempo, longer rest periods, shorter rest periods, so on and so forth for a holistic approach. The method we started off today was called breakdowns. It's devised by my mentor, Dr. Fred Hatfield. And he's used it with a lot of famous bodybuilders. He trained, Lee Haney, for the Olympia. He trained Michael Quinn, one of the, most underrated bodybuilders of all time. And so what the idea is here, you're gonna start off with a weight you can do 4 to 6 reps with. You wanna go heavy, obviously. So you go as heavy as you can for 4 to 6 reps. Then you reduce that weight by, 15 to 20%. And then you wanna hit 10 to 15 reps. Then you further reduce that, in the last set you're gonna go 25 to 30 reps is the goal. Okay, so these are just guidelines. They don't have to be exact, but that's a good starting point for guidelines. For the rest periods in between sets, we wanna go 2 to 3 minutes, okay? And so talk a little about the workout today. This is, we did our own kind of version of it today though. So I call it the 4 quarters workout because we're going, I like football, 4 quarters, last quarters on the goal line. You see nothing but elbows and assholes. You're gonna charge straight ahead. We take that kind of mentality right here with the workout today. So we did 4 exercises, starting off with a close grip decline press. That's one of my favorite tricep builders. I even use that with world-class bench pressers. And so we took Jay a closer to normal grip, about shoulder width apart. We're not going ultra close. Don't want to put a lot of strain on the wrists and elbows. Plus we can throw around a little more pig iron with that grip. So close grip decline press is how we started off. Next, we went on to the Hercules chin up. That's as I mentioned earlier, that's a creation of the Jailhouse strong system. So what you do, chin up, that means a supinated grip, or your palms, facing you for people that are less scientific watching. And we love you too. So anyways, you want the palms facing you. You go all the way up like a normal chin up. You come halfway down, hold that position isometrically, squeeze your biceps for 2 seconds, go back to the top, and then you go all the way down. That is 1 repetition. So for that, you got to vary, you're not gonna be able to do 25 reps that way. So, so we went, the lowest reps, medium reps, highest reps. So it ended up being 4, 6, then 8 on the last set. Load up, and obviously you're gonna load those up if you can. Up, up, yep, up, yeah, up. Up, up, up. Good shot. Okay. So this one, the rep count's a little funky here because we started off with 4, which is really like 8, and then it goes to 6, and so on and so forth. So kind of concept basically, because it's a little different here, you can look at time under tension, things like that, to go for X amount of seconds or whatever. But you want to keep the spirit the same. Heaviest, lowest reps, lowest amount of time or tension to start off, in with the lightest and lowest amount of time, and the lightest and highest amount of time or tension at the end, and that's breakdowns. Okay, from there we went on to the overhead disc press, and this has nothing to do with your wiener schnitzel, so get your head out of your and then focus on what I'm talking about here. So what you do, this is more deceiving than you think it is, and I've used this with a lot of top level strongman. And I've also used it for myself when I was training for Strongest Man America 2005. The overhead press was one of the events, and I'd never trained standing overhead presses and didn't even rarely train seated overhead presses. So I had to, make some expedited process fast. There was cash on the line. I was in the poorhouse, and you know, I had to keep my daily habit of Waffle House every day going, so I needed some cash. And it, you know, came up with the overhead disc press just by done it with bench press before. It's like, why can't you do it standing? And I did. Ended up winning the event. So anyways, what you do, you just take the barbell, you know, as you'll see in the video, lift it arm's length above head with a close grip. You take it down to right in front of your forehead. You kind of skim the top of your head behind your forehead, go back to the front, press it back up, and you get to feel a good stretch in your triceps. And you go a little bit heavier here than you can on the traditional French press. This is not only will build your triceps and take you to a new level of fatigue, but it will also get you a lot stronger. So I mean, even if you're training purely for bodybuilding, I mean, who doesn't want to be a little bit stronger? So from there, we went to the incline dumbbell hammer curls, and what we do there, want to really hit the brachialis there. That's, you know, one of the keys to getting a quote unquote big bicep is developing that muscle. It's going to give you the illusion of a much bigger bicep, and you know, at the end of the day on the stage, it's all about what illusion you've created. So and these do real well with a slower tempo. So we did as a normal speed on the way up, 5 second negative, again modifying the load because there's that 5 second negative. So we went from 4 reps to 8 reps from 3 reps to 6 reps to 12 reps. And you think about it as 12 reps, it's not like ultra high, like 25 to 30 reps, but you're on 5 seconds. So that alone, when you're doing that 12 reps, we got 60 seconds in just a negative. So you know, that's a breakdown portion of the workout, and it actually you know, echoes a study we saw from Japan a few years back, where people did a 5x5 workout, and then one group at that 5x5 workout, there's 2 groups. One did a traditional 5x5 workout, the other did a 5x5 workout and added a set of 20, a back off set at the end. The people that added the set of 20 actually even had better strength gains, but you know, much better gains and muscle hypertrophy. So we did those 4 exercises, boom, 4 quarters. Then we finished off with the 4 exercises of cluster sets. So you do each cluster set for 4 minutes. You do 6 repetitions, rest 15 seconds, repeat that sequence for 4 minutes. And it's going to be how much weight you use is going to be, you know, at least something you do 15 reps with, because you're pretty fatigued at the end of the workout here, and you have to play around a little bit to find that. But the goal is to finish that with the same weight you started, but be very fatigued at the end of the set. And you know, so you got all 4 of those, you know, those 4 exercises, 4-minute cluster sets. You got your 4-quarter work down with breakdowns. And so, what do you think of the workout today, Jay?
It was one of the harder ones, definitely. Especially the overhead disc press, which is foreign to me. It was my first time ever doing it. But like you was explaining, you know, when you start from here, the key to going back is to make sure you get a stretch in your triceps. That's what actually hurts the most, to be honest with you, is the stretch, and then come back up and press. One thing though, a little bit more difficult for me in the video to keep my elbows in, but you definitely want to make sure you keep your elbows in a lot more, so you can make sure you're actually hitting your triceps. But that was definitely difficult.
And with all that, you know, that's going to be a little individual variance in that. On the, you know, just how when you're overhead pressing, if somebody's, you know, got, you know, biceps that big, he's probably not going to bring the barbell all the way, you know, down to his collarbone. So I mean, there is going to be a little individual variance there. But he, you know, as long as, you know, this is getting back to bodybuilding, you feel that good stretch in your triceps. And at the end of the day, if you're using, you know, 95 pounds and getting a good stretch filling your triceps, that's better than using, you know, 120 and, you know, just bamboozling the weight with, you know, momentum.
The Hercules chin-ups, those were just as difficult. Same thing though. The thing is when you come down halfway after you do the full pull-up, and you actually come down halfway, you got to make sure you're actually squeezing your biceps. You know, when you come down halfway and you hold it for 2 seconds, you know, then you come all the way back up. The key is to remember to make sure you fully come all the way down and stretch the biceps out. Same thing, you know, it's not that difficult of a movement, but if it's something that you haven't done before and you're not comfortable with doing it, probably don't want to start off with chains loading it first, but just try it with just body weight first.
Absolutely. You may even have to use a little bit of assistance on a machine or band, and I think that's one of the advantages of having somebody like Jay come out here. Not only is he, you know, obviously professional bodybuilder, so it's obviously exciting, you know, to work with somebody like that out here. But then the flip side is he's also, you know, I'm pretty snobby in who I'd recommend anybody to personal train with, but I've definitely sent people his way before because I like the work that he does. So he's got a intuitive mind-muscle connection, but beyond that, he's been able to teach that to others. So that's the thing is, you guys think about a lot of times, you know, when we're making these videos, we're trying to help people out and stuff, but there's a selfish aspect to it too. The best way to learn more is to teach other people, and he's been able to do that and teach other people. So he's got that superior mind-muscle connection. So, like for instance, on the Hercules chin-up, I mean, you could not think about your biceps at all and kind of just muscle up, and you'd still get something out of it because before I'd ever thought about bodybuilding at all, or like, you know, have trained ever for any sort of muscle hypertrophy, 1 iota, or trained anybody for, I remember it very vividly. I was at Moore Park College, and I was going down there to train at their gym when I was in like a senior in high school, and guy who's coaching me in powerlifting, Steve Hall, on the program, we had lat pull downs and with a reverse grip. They didn't have a lat pull down machine, or I guess they did, but someone broke it, and, you know, damn college don't fix it. So anyways, figure, okay, you know, what's the next best thing to do? Aha, it's a vertical pull with a supinated grip. They got a bar right there, so I wasn't doing any pull-ups at all at the time. So I just jumped up there and started busting out pull-ups with a reverse grip, not thinking at all about my biceps. And even though I was doing like hammer curls and things like that, and easy curls primarily at the time, I couldn't believe how pumped up my biceps were and how sore they were the next day. And that wasn't really thinking with any sort of, you know, mind-muscle connection. So you bring an individual like this, you know, did these with Corey Matthews too, IFBB Pro, people like that that are sharp mentally, plus they have the intuitive mind-muscle connection. It's a deadly combination. Josh Bryant signing off with IFBB Pro Jay Warren with your 4 quarters workout, and this can be applied to any opposing body parts you want to work.